Welcome to the show. It has been a long week of wrestling. Lots of stuff to talk about. I'm Harry. With me, as always, is Tyson.
Let me talk to you.
And Tyson, how was your week?
Pretty good.
Yeah,
There was a lot happening in the wrestling world,
yeah.
which is good.
Anything? What
Oh,
sticks out the most to you?
I think you know.
All right.
And
Well,
it happened Friday.
okay. Well, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into Monday Night Raw. I think they were in Charlotte.
Forgot.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they were in Charlotte. We also watched Fall Brawl, which was in Charlotte, so I might be getting that mixed up. But anyway, so right off the bat, they advertised Ripley versus No Definition Rodriguez, Gunther Celebration, and Cody Rhodes live. So that's the backbone of Raw tonight. And opening up, we have Jey Uso. And Jay only gets to say how good it feels to be there before Kevin Owens comes out and interrupts because that's what everybody does now. Cole says clearly Owens has an issue with Jay, which doesn't make any sense because Owens was out last week and he has yet to say anything about anything. So I don't know how clear that is.
It's because the look on his face.
Oh, okay. Well, it's the same look he always has, that open mouth breathing, confused look. I think it's just the Canadian in him.
That's the Kevin Owens look.
Yeah. Owen says he knows that what's Jay's. Owen says he knows what's Jay. What? God damn it! Owen says he
Right?
knows what Jay is going through. Owens has done a lot of bad things to a lot of good people, and it took a while for him to earn his respect and trust back. But not everybody in the locker room does. McIntyre and Riddle are just the tip of the iceberg. McIntyre and Riddle are just the tip of the iceberg. It's gonna be a long night if I keep fucking up words. There's a lot of guys that don't want you here. I have people coming up to me that I've never even seen before telling me that they don't want you here. Let's do something about it. This ain't going to be easy, Jay. But Cody seemed to give you a chance, and Sammy welcomed you with open arms. But Jay, that's it. You have a long way to prove to me, especially, you're not the same scumbag you were with the Bloodline. The Judgment Day came out to set up the tag team match after that.
Because how can you be? How can we get anything else than a Judgment Day tag match with some sort of Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn?
Right. So, of course, we get Jay and Kevin Owens versus the Judgment Day. Owens goes for a stunner on Priest. Priest blocks it. Jay tries a super kick on Priest. Priest ducks. And Jay nails it Owens. Priest throws Jay outside the ring. Then Balor hits a coup de grace on Owens for the win. So on a show where people shrug off getting a chair thrown at their head like a lawn dart, Owens is super pissed off that Jay obviously missed the super kick.
Well, did he miss it?
Yeah, he did.
I know. That's the thing. Oh, did you miss it though?
So Jay and Owens are in the back after the match. Jay apologizes and said the kick was an accident. And then Owens says, go join your new bloodline. They're in the Judgment Day locker room. So yeah, Jay's sucked into the Judgment Day shit, which was what I was afraid of.
Well, I told you he has to. Still, all signs point to him being a member of the War Games match with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. But I do want to say, and we already talked about it, but the presentation of Jey Uso makes him feel like a big star. But everybody does the hand thing, and then his music, which is variation of his old music, just the lyrics are changed.
Right.
There's a little bit of difference in the beat though, but yeah, when everybody does the hand thing, it's just the presentation just looks like he's a big deal.
His shirt bothers me because it looks like SmackDown colors. That's about it.
Well, it's because the bloodline is red, so he's got to go blue because he's different.
Yeah, but he's not on Smack. I don't know. It's just dumb.
Isn't it big? Let's get bogged down in semantics.
Next up, we have Gunta. Gunta. They played a great video package of last week's match between Gable and Gunta, and all the the build up, the 5-minute challenge, the count out victory by Gable, and then the classic match that they put on. Probably the match of the year so far. Then we cut to Imperium arriving in a Mercedes, and they're all wearing suits. Kaiser and Vinci are wearing all black, and Gunta is in the traditional black and white suit. And they're all shit talking in German, which is great. I love when they do that.
Yep.
Next, we get Miz and Tozawa. And this is the rematch that nobody asked for, ever. And Miz won after 3 skull-crushing finales.
Yeah, pretty straightforward. This was just to get Miz a win going into his big match on SmackDown.
Yeah. Against Tozawa. So we get a No Definition Rodriguez backstage segment. Byron Saxon asked her some shit. No Def said some shit. She probably threw in some Spanish for good measure. I didn't watch it. Anything good happen?
No.
That's what I thought.
Oh, no, nothing good happened.
Okay.
Nothing good happened. But it was clearly she was reciting lines of a promo.
Oh, it was bad?
It wasn't bad, but you can tell she was like clearly, I don't know. It was just like she was reciting what was told to her.
Okay.
It was just like, yeah, it felt like a rehearsed promo.
Gotcha. No, to be fair, that's like all of her promos. She's not very good.
Some of them are pretty good. Okay. Believable.
I don't like her, so maybe I'm just biased.
Yeah, there is that.
So next we do get something good. It's Shayna Baszler backstage. The lady said she beat Zoe, and Shayna said that she was surprised that Zoe didn't immediately go to sleep after she locked in this Karafuda clutch. She actually got to her feet twice. And Chelsea Green comes in to say Piggy Niven is still sick with a tummy ache and wants Shayna to be her partner. And then Shayna challenges Green to a match. Instead, we learn that Piggy isn't sick after all.
She's back.
Yeah. What can you say about that? I mean,
nothing.
The whole the Chelsea Green thing is just old at this point.
I don't know. I think she's one of the more entertaining women on the roster, but
okay. I think she would
plays her role perfectly.
She would be a good manager. I just don't see her as a competitor.
Yeah, I mean, Zack Ryder, he needs to come on in so they can. Now, I never watched them in TNA or NWA, so I'm speaking from just like what other people are saying, really. But apparently, it was a good combo, those two.
Okay.
And he was teasing on social media that it's time to go back to WWE. So, yeah,
interesting.
But he's always doing that, so I don't know if you can take it serious.
I think they all kind of do that. I think it's part wishful thinking, part leveraging WWE, even as Santino Marella. If he starts, I think I'm going to go back to WWE's.
Why?
Right.
Well, I mean, that's a little different. It's a lot different.
Well, I mean, my point is that former WWE superstars, they kind of do the WWE tease a lot. I don't know if they're just trying to put it out there in the universe and get somebody's attention, or if they're just trying to get a better contract with who they're working with. That's an old Hogan thing.
Well, I know a lot of people did it with AEW. Randy Orton did it. Oh,
Yep.
I think I'll go to AEW.
I think
Edge did it the first before the contract expired, which, by the way, he is off the roster page on WWE.com now. So,
and apparently they're
official.
far apart on the new deal.
Yeah,
which is just weird to me.
official.
Edge is one of those guys that's been in WWE for his whole career. You'd think that they could make some room for him on the roster.
I'm sure though. Well, I don't know. It's kind of 50-50. They're saying, oh, this is the dirt sheet, by the way. Oh, he's going to show up in AEW. So it's probably like 50-50.
I don't see why he would want to.
Maybe he's not done wrestling.
Okay. So next up, we get Gunther Intercontinental Championship celebration. And right off the bat, Kaiser demands the crowd's gratitude on behalf of Gunther. Gunther stands on a podium while Pyro plays. I thought it was a little too flashy for the guy. I thought they needed to tone that down just a little bit. Thought maybe like one or two little strands of confetti would have been appropriate for Gunther. So Gunther gets the microphone and he says, to the surprise of absolutely nobody, the Ring General has rewritten. Yeah, I've been practicing. Has rewritten history. I am now officially the longest reigning and greatest Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion in history. But first, I want to share some words about the legends that held the great title before. You contributed absolutely nothing. I elevated this championship to heights it's never seen before. And as far as I understand, I'm running a little bit out of competition here. From now on, it seems like I'm only competing against myself. Gunther starts to speak in German. I think he was just pressing for time. That's what it looked like to me. Then Gable's music plays. Gable says that they had a main event for the ages, and he's still feeling it. Here we are a week later, and you're the one celebrating. So congratulations, Gunther. And Gunther invites Gable to the ring to say what he has to say and to his face. Gable says that after the match, he saw the look on Gunther's eyes, and no one pushed him and came as close to beating him as Gable did. The look on your face wasn't the only one I saw last week. I saw the disappointment on my whole family's face while they were sitting in the front row. I saw the tears rolling down my oldest daughter's face. Tears you caused, Gunther. I wouldn't expect you to understand what it does to have your child weeping right in front of your eyes. But Gunther, you just lit a fire that's going to keep burning until I make this whole thing right. Understand this. I beat you once, and I'm going to beat you again. I don't know when, where, or how, but I'm getting another title shot, and this time I'm winning that championship, and my daughter is walking out with a smile on her face. Gunther says, you want another title opportunity? An opportunity for what? To drag your family all the way from home in the first row to see them, for them to see you get the beating of a lifetime again?
Such a dick.
Is that what you want? Using your children as bait to get a little bit of spotlight? Yes, you push me to my limit, Gable, and you're a fantastic athlete, but you're a disgusting father. After that, Gable had enough, and he starts hitting Gunther. Vinci and Kaiser, they attack Gable. Otis comes out and takes Kaiser and Vinci out. Gunther takes out Otis, Gable attacks Gunter, but Gunter stops him. Imperium starts beating the shit out of Alpha Academy. And then, for some reason, Tommaso Ciampa comes out of nowhere with a chair. And he cleans house. So apparently, Gunter is going to turn this chicken shit into chicken feed.
Who, Ciampa?
Yeah. Because he's been losing to Strowman. He's been losing to Shinsuke. He's been, I mean, he may have been something in NXT, of course, but on the main roster, he hasn't been shit.
He has not found his footing yet. Yeah.
So he's just a little guy with a beard. So for him to just all of a sudden come out with a chair and challenge Gunter, just, I don't know. But it's kind of like what Gable did. Like, Gable came out of nowhere and they had some great matches. So, and I know Ciampa can go. It's just storyline wise, it doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah. I mean, he said he wanted to make he needed to make some opportunities. I guess this was him stepping up into one, but.
Shouldn't he win a couple matches first?
Yes, of course.
Okay. So obviously a 6-man tag is scheduled later because they love that at WWE. And also so Gunter can lose a match without getting pinned.
Yep. Oh, we need Imperium or we need Gunther to lose to keep everybody's attention on Chad Gable. Let's put him in a tag match so we can get
so we can get Vinci the loss.
Yeah.
All right. So after that, we get McIntyre and Woods backstage, and there's also a match. So they're still pissed off at each other. I don't care. And then they set up the match because of their pissed offness. I think McIntyre was talking shit about Kofi, and Woods defended his boyfriend. Whatever. McIntyre wins with the Claymore, and I'm not sure why it took the Scottish psychopath so long to beat the video game guy. Former tag champion or not.
Okay. And former King of the Ring.
Okay. Isn't Drew McIntyre former King of the Ring?
No.
Okay. Well, Drew McIntyre is a former champion, former Intercontinental champion. I'm sure he's had the tag belts. His accolades are well above Xavier Woods. The only thing Xavier Woods has done that McIntyre presumably hasn't done is fuck Paige on camera.
Well, there you go. That gives him that makes him even right there. accolades, they're even now.
Okay. So next up we get Cody Rhodes live. Cody wants to talk about Jey Uso, but Dominic Mysterio interrupts immediately. And McNugget is with Mysterio. And I didn't pay attention because of the stupid mic gimmick. Ever since you said it, and then Cornette said it.
Cornette said it.
Yeah, Cornette even said that they lower his microphone and they pop up the crowd. So
he's copying us. Come on, Cornette, you're better.
Yeah,
thank you for the view, though. He's sitting in his basement with his headset on, listening to us.
Yeah,
so he can chill it out on his much bigger podcast.
Yep, he's taking notes. So
I'm telling you, how it's done. I am telling you, it's either a coincidence or some of these bigger podcasts are listening. It's just happening way too often that they're mentioning stuff that we say. And again, it could be a coincidence.
Did it ever occur to you that this WWE shit is so basic that anybody can figure it out?
I said it could be a coincidence.
Okay.
But they do be saying stuff that we be saying around these parts. And we're doing okay on TikTok. By the way, go follow us over there if you haven't. Instagram, we started posting over there, or I have. No, we have. Still trying to figure that one out.
Instagram?
Yeah.
What about it?
Well, I'm posting our reels or posting our shit that we post on TikTok and Shorts, and not one single view on any of them.
It's Instagram's all, or at least the last time I used it, was all about the hashtags.
Oh, well, there you go. I don't use any.
Yeah, that's why.
I'm not a hashtag guy. Anyway, follow us on Instagram if you want. We're still figuring that out. TikTok, YouTube, we're almost to 500. We went backwards a little bit, but that's, there's some gray area there. But we're still trying to get to 500. So if you can help us get there, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button if you don't subscribe, or if you are subscribed. The like button helps the video gets out to more people, so we have more chances to get subscribers. And there you go.
All right.
I slipped it in already.
You did. So yeah, I didn't pay attention to what Dominic had to say because I wish they would just fucking do shit naturally. Why do they gotta manipulate shit like that, man? Cody ends up attacking Dominic, McNugget, and Dom. They start attacking Rhodes. Cody dumps McNugget out of the ring, and then Cody hits a cutter on Dom. Cody hits a crossroads on McNugget, and then a crossroads on Dom. And yeah, the mic tricks are just making me lose interest. Also, I have no idea why Balor's best friend in the whole wide world was with Dominic instead of the tag match earlier.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that was the plan.
Okay. So we get Jey Uso backstage. McIntyre, he's still pissed off. He comes in to say that he doesn't trust him. Jey says, cool. McIntyre says he can't stand on his own 2 feet and will run to the Judgment Day any day. Jey challenges McIntyre to a match next week.
Should be a good match.
Well, I don't know.
We'll see if Jey Uso can really. This is like his first big match that's not Judgment Day related. I'm
That's
sure
true.
Judgment Day will be still involved some way, but
Probably, yeah. All right, so Chelsea Green with Piggy Niven and Shayna Baszler. For this to have lasted any longer than 10 seconds is a joke to Shayna Baszler. And it lasted longer than 10 fucking seconds. So finally, Shayna wins with a swinging Samoa drop. Piggy jumps in to get punched repeatedly. Chelsea grabs Shayna's feet so Piggy and Chelsea can use the numbers game. And then Zoe Stark comes out for the save. And Zoe stares Piggy out of the ring. And for what it looks like to me, it looks like that they split Shayna up from Ronda Rousey to get her out of the tag division, only to put her back into the tag division with Zoe Stark.
oh, there's more to it than that. They split Shayna from Ronda Rousey, which was a tag team. They split Zoe and Trish, which it wasn't a tag team, but they were a duo, only to put them into another duo with each other. So really, they didn't. What was the point of that?
And where the fuck is the unholy union?
Ooh, they're down there. I don't know, sitting in witch covens or whatever. I don't know where they are.
I don't understand why the fuck they called all these NXT people up if they're only going to use like 2 or 3 of them. I guess that's it. So we get a Shinsuke video package.
There.
Yeah, I got you. Shinsuke video package. Shinsuke is sitting like a samurai. And just the whole aesthetic with him. I like the video packages. I wish he would just do that instead of promos and stuff.
Yeah, when he came out live, it's like, we had such a good thing. Why did you have to go and do this?
You're not holding a sword. Come on. Shinsuke says Seth is not honorable, and the road to his success is lined with bodies of the people who trusted Rollins the most. Then they play clips of Rollins turning on the Shield. Shinsuke says Rollins disgraced his family with his lack of honor, and that Nakamura will challenge Rollins when he decides to. So we're waiting with bated breath to when the rematch is set. So sure enough, we get Rollins in ring. I skipped the part where he makes him sing a song. I also skipped the part where he talked his shit, where he talks about being a visionary and all that crap. Rollins calls out Shinsuke for a title match right then and now. Nakamura's music plays, but he doesn't come out. So is Rollins fighting an invisible Nakamura now? No! Shinsuke is beating Ricochet backstage. He's beating the shit out of Ricochet backstage. Then Shinsuke says Rollins has bad timing. Shinsuke thought that Rollins wasn't medically cleared, so he already fought. And then there's this nice little. It's subtle, but Ricochet pushes Shinsuke's face, and then the look Shinsuke gave him. I don't know. I like that a lot.
Like, I'm about to kill your ass.
Yeah, and then he just kind of smiles, and then just starts kneeing the shit out of him. But yeah, Shinsuke's got to challenge Rollins when he decides to, not when Rollins wants to. And I like this Shinsuke.
I do like the Shinsuke as well.
If
And I'm
only,
not even gonna lie to you. Starting to come around on Seth Rollins too.
really?
Yes.
Okay.
Like the whole, I don't know. It's starting to catch on to me. Starting to warm up to it. You know, you got the music. Then the crowd. Oh, only the first one, not when he's in the ring doing the hands out thing.
Yeah.
But only the first one he comes out. Starting to warm up to that. Starting to get used to it. I'm starting to like it. Also, congratulations, I guess, are in order here. Seth Rollins was. I mean, you know, I don't want to take it what you want. Seth Rollins named the number one wrestler on the PWI 500 magazine list thing. So there you go. Apparently, that's prestigious.
Who?
PWI 500.
No, who was on it?
Seth Rollins.
Okay.
He finished number one.
Oh yeah, I saw that on the Twitter, the twatter.
Yeah. So okay, we got. I'll just run it down for you real quick.
It was Rollins, Roman, and I know they had that Viking guy over MJF.
Yeah. So number 10, Cody Rhodes. Number 9, Walking Weapon. Don't even know what that means. Number 8, Orange Cassidy. Number 7, Okada. Number 6, MJF. Number 5, Vikingo.
Josh Alexander.
Number 4, Gunther. Number 3, John Moxley. Number 2, Roman Reigns. Number 1, Seth freaking Rollins. And it's the PWI Top 500. This comes out in a magazine. Don't buy it or buy it. I don't care. And
well, it sounds like they got it wrong 500 times.
Well, my first thing I tweeted out when I saw the little list, I said, any list that has Vikingo ranked ahead of MJF is a joke.
I think MJF is better than Rollins.
So you put him number 1?
No. You know who my number 1 is.
Oh, yeah.
I put him at least top 3. I put him ahead of Rollins for sure. I'd probably put him ahead of Roman.
MJF?
Yeah, just the whole presentation of MJF. MJF, he is authentic. Like, regardless,
but
when he's being a heel, he's an asshole inside and outside the ring. Like when he laughed at that kid in the wheelchair, and when he threw the drink on that kid's face, and then the interview after where he was like, fuck him, my heart weeps for him. I hope that water didn't hurt him.
Yeah, he threw a drink on the kid.
And now he's a baby face, and this is genuine. You know, everybody thinks that Adam Cole and me we're just playing along, but no, he's my best friend. I never thought I'd say that. It's authentic. I think it's more real than anything WWE has done. Aside from Gunther.
That's true. I mean, I'd put him in. I would say he's easily top three, if not second.
Okay.
I put Reigns number one,
Okay.
biggest draw in the industry, so
Okay.
that's your number one. It's just
Is
like
that true though? Because didn't
seasonally.
they just have that Wembley thing that was the biggest draw?
Uh, we won't touch that today.
Okay. Okay.
Apparently, they fabricated the numbers, but yeah, we'll leave that. We'll leave that alone because I don't have the full
Oh,
story
they
here.
fudged the numbers. That's
Yeah, they like overshot it by 10,000 people.
what was the WrestleMania 3 record? Or was it WrestleMania 3?
Yeah, well, they fudged those numbers too, apparently.
Of
So
course. But what was their number? Do you know?
no, I don't. I think it was 81, something like that, and then AEW touted 83, but it was actually 73. And like
Oh.
the government had to weigh in on this. Like, yeah,
Oh, that's a good
it was
use of
like,
tax dollars.
yeah, it was like, what in the hell? And then it was like, as per requested, the government has released the numbers of All In. And it's like, who requested it? Who cares that much?
All right.
So yeah, that's been a big topic of discussion. Not that not that that really matters, but I say that to say yes, I would put Roman Reigns at the top of the list, and then I could say probably MJF number two, and then under that, yeah, Rollins three, and then Gunther, and then you can throw,
Fuck you.
hey, you got you got
Fuck
big
you.
gold. You're in
No,
the top.
Gunther is not he is not worse than Seth Rollins. You adjust that list. Adjust it.
What are you talking about? Right now, I mean Gunther, yes,
Right now, yes.
he's on a
Right now,
run.
last year, 2 years from now, yes, he will be better than Seth Rollins.
Yeah, he's on a run. But I don't know if we take the like a whole body of work because obviously Seth Rollins has been doing it longer, so you can't compare that. If you just compare this year, I mean it's close.
I've
It's
been
close.
watching Seth Rollins since he's been in the Shield. So essentially since he's been called up to the main roster. I find Seth Rollins obnoxious. I think his promos are monotone and nasally. I don't believe him when he's acting crazy. I don't believe him when he's acting like he's the architect. I don't even believe that he and Triple H are friends. They might be, but it doesn't come across on how he talks.
Yeah.
Gunther, on the other hand, is believable in every sense of the word. All you got to do is listen to the man talk on an interview. He protects the business.
He does.
The only thing I'll give I'll give Rollins credit for sticking out. I think he got into it was a while ago. He got into a Twitter thing with somebody because they suggested that wrestling was fake. So he tried to be the ambassador of WWE, and he failed miserably. But I give him credit for trying. Yeah. Anything else on the list?
No, it was just I don't know why I threw it in there. Oh, because we were talking about Rollins and
Yeah.
yeah, he's number one according to them. So
I have Gunther, MJF, and there's somebody else.
oh, your list is chalked. You haven't said Roman yet, and you've
Fuck
already named two
Roman.
people.
Oh yeah, let me watch a 25-minute match that is only important at the end of the match because all they care about is the story. They don't give a shit about the match.
See, this is where this list is a little murky because are we talking about pure wrestling or are we talking about
Oh, CM Punk,
the whole package?
Gunther, MJF, CM Punk. Those are my top three.
Your top three.
Yeah, my top three. Yeah, absolutely.
Your your list is about as esteemed as I don't know.
My list is fucking great. My three
Now
guys would beat
your
the
list
shit out of your.
ass.
My three guys would beat the shit out of Pro Wrestling Insider's 500 guys, single handedly or triple handedly.
Well, let us know what you think in the comments below. Top three, top five, and why Vikingo should not be ahead of MJ anyway.
Yeah,
Vikingo, come on.
yeah. Where was I?
We had just started talking about Rollins, so you just finished that.
Okay, so we get another Jay Uso backstage segment, and Finn Balor tries to recruit Jay into Judgment Day again. That's really all I got from that. Alpha Academy and Tommaso Ciampa versus Imperium. What can I say? It was a 6-man tag match. Imperium's triple kick to Gable was awesome, where they had Gable and the Trio Woe, and then they Gunther and I think it was Kaiser. They kick Gable's head. That was great. And Gable wins the match via ankle lock with Vinci and ankle lock on Vinci rather, and then Ciampa had Gunther in the fucking rings of Saturn and
The Gargano escape.
whatever. And then
Which is a
Gable
team.
made Gunther watch Vinci tap out. So I can only assume that Vinci got his ass beat.
Yeah.
We have a Judgment Day backstage segment, and they're going to keep making Jay feel isolated and pressure him into joining. Glad we had a backstage segment for that. Next, we have Kaiser's bitch backstage. She's whining to Pierce. Becky comes in. They're signing a contract. Kaiser's bitch tries to plead with Becky. Becky said some shit. They sign the contract, and I'm sure this will work out in Kaiser's bitch's favor, and they won't have a featured women's Raw star win the NXT title. Totally.
Sure. Now, I do want to say Tiffany Stratton's who he is referring to. Number one. Number two, she cut a promo better than like 90% of the roster.
Did she?
Women's roster.
Okay. Women's,
Like-
women's roster. Okay.
Like, between this and then the match her and Becky had, which I didn't watch it, but a lot of people were claiming it's match of the year. He didn't claim that. Just other people claimed that. Match of the year for the women, which, it means at some point we're going to have to watch it to, rank it. But yeah, it already shows she's ready for the main roster.
I just don't understand why they're. I don't understand why they're having Becky go to NXT. This does no favors for Becky, and it sure shit doesn't do any favors for Kaiser's bitch. So,
well, apparently that match pulled over 1 million ratings, so that's what it does.
But now Kaiser's bitch looks like a loser because she can't beat Becky. Becky looks like a big ass loser because now she's going to the NXT instead of, she just had a feud with Trish that lasted fucking 6 months. Now she has the NXT championship. Like, where's the bigger and better things? She's going backwards.
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing with NXT. I mean, look at those up and coming stars: Becky Lynch, women's champion; Dominic, North American champion. I don't even know who the heavyweight champion is. I think it's still Carmelo Hayes.
Yeah, it's still Carmelo. Which I don't get him.
I'm sure someone from the main roster will be taking that title. What if Priest cashes in on Carmelo Hayes?
Why not?
I mean, yeah. What if? Throw that out there into the universe. And let's see that get picked up. And then everybody's going to be like, oh, remember where you heard it first.
Do you still think Priest is going to fail his cash in?
I'm 50-50 now.
Okay. I don't know. It's dumb to fucking have Becky Lynch go to NXT.
Actually, I take that back. Yes, I still think he's going to fail the cash in.
Okay.
Because I mean, we're getting close to WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
He's not going into WrestleMania as champion. Sorry.
No.
So, then that leaves you to only be able to lose the cash in, especially now that the other side is maybe spoken for. We're going to talk about that later.
Could he cash in as champion? Or I'm sorry. Could he? I'm sorry. Can he cash in at WrestleMania?
I don't think so.
No? You don't think they're going to hold it that long? They seem to be like very patient on a lot of shit.
Maybe he holds it through WrestleMania, but I don't think he cashes in at WrestleMania.
Okay. I'm warming up to Priest a little bit. I like his look, even though, well, kind of reminds me of the Rocky Horror Picture Show. I'm just a sweet transvestite from transsexual Transylvania.
I have no idea what you're talking about there. But I'm sure
you've never seen Rocky Horror Picture Show?
No.
Oh, dude. You're missing out.
Is it in black and white?
No. Okay. It's not in black and white. I would not recommend black and white shit to you, okay? It is old. I will grant you that. I think it's 70s, maybe.
Oh my. I mean, I'm sure they found a way to upscale it. We'll see.
Yeah. I watched it recently. It was actually pretty good. But our tastes are a little different. All right. So No Def and Ripley. I didn't watch the match because really, who cares? There's no way that No Definition Rodriguez is going to be fucking Rhea Ripley, especially on Raw. But what I did watch is Nia Jax coming out and at the end of the match, and she gave No Definition Rodriguez a Samoan drop to the floor. And then No Def crawls into the ring, making the Samoan drop meaningless. And then Ripley hits a Riptide for the win. And then post-match, Nia Jax headbutts Ripley. Then she leg drops Ripley. And then she bonsai drops Ripley. And then Jax slaps Ripley in the face while her fat ass is just holding her arms to the mat. And yeah, that's how Raw ends. And we just talked about Becky Lynch going to NXT. We have Shayna Baszler. We have Zoe Stark on this roster. And the best that they can come up with is dusting off this fucking talentless water buffalo and immediately putting her in the title picture.
And I'm going to be on the opposite side of that. I think it gives Rhea Ripley, because first of all, Rhea Ripley is like head and shoulders above everybody in the women's division, so there's no real competition left. That's why they had to do the Raquel Rodriguez to give the appearance of someone who can match up against her. This is what Nia Jax does.
They have MMA fighters on the roster, and the best that they can come up with is this fat bitch hurting everybody. That's it.
I'm not saying Nia Jax should be back and it's like, oh, this is the, let's put the title on her. This is the woman who's going to carry the division. I'm just saying it gives a one, maybe two match thing that you can do, program that you can do with Rhea Ripley to make her look more dominant. That's what you bring.
Shayna Baszler, Zoe Stark,
You still
Becky
have
Lynch.
to build up Shayna.
Why do you have to still build up Shayna? She just beat the shit out of Ronda Rousey at WrestleMania. Isn't that her fucking swan song? She beat Ronda Rousey. Nia Jax could probably beat Ronda Rousey, let's be honest.
She actually didn't. They faced each other before.
Well, no, I mean, I'm talking about real life.
Nia Jax Samoan, of course she can.
Well, that and she's a big girl. She's a big girl with power. I don't know. This is just fucking stupid. They have all these women on this fucking roster, and they bring Nia Jax back just to have a big girl fight Ripley. And who's the fucking heel?
Nia, I guess.
How the fuck is Nia a heel? The Judgment Day, they're supposed to be the biggest, baddest fucking faction on Raw, SmackDown, WWE. And then Nia Jax comes in, Bonsai drops Ripley, and then slaps her in the face. So how is that not supposed to turn Ripley into a babyface?
Because she's with the Judgment Day. They're going to cheer, obviously. They're going to cheer Rhea Ripley over Nia Jax.
They should. Not one person has said anything positive about Nia Jax coming back. Maybe Nia Jax's family.
Yeah, she's not the most well liked in the community. And she keeps hurting people, but aside from that, she did make Becky Lynch. If she didn't break Becky Lynch's nose, Becky Lynch wouldn't be where she was.
Okay. Maybe if she didn't hit Kairi Sane, she wouldn't have had to go back to New Japan.
There's that too. But I don't know. I think it'll be a one-off, and then we'll be back to Nia Jax just injuring people as she does.
I don't know. It's dumb.
She brought up injuring Ripley though.
You got Becky, you got Zoe, you got Shayna, you got the fucking bitch from NXT that had the Indy Hartwell. Where the fuck is she? Why did you call her up if you're not gonna fucking use her? Why did you call Unholy Union up if you're not gonna use them?
They are getting used.
You're throwing these singles women into the tag team division that don't need to be. And you got this fucking Nia Jax, who nobody likes. Nobody likes Nia Jax. I'm sorry to say it. Nobody likes her. They didn't like her when she was first debuted. They didn't like her when she left. And now she's back. And guess what? They still don't like her. So why the fuck is she immediately in the title picture when you got all these qualified women that would not only put on a better match, but would be more believable? It would make more sense.
Well, they'll have time to get theirs too. Rhea Ripley's not losing that title anytime soon, so she'll go through Nia Jax. They're gonna get her to riptide Nia Jax, and then they're gonna be able to play that forever and put it on the bumper of her little thing when she comes out. Oh, look at her, she's so strong. That's why they get her.
All right, it's just dumb to me.
But yes, Nia Jax has returned, and it makes more sense. Nia Jax has
returned. Becky Lynch is the NXT Women's Champion holder, and Zoe and Shayna, they're a tag team presumably now, and Indy Hartwell is finger blasting herself with Unholy Union in Vince's office.
Boy, what I'd pay to be a fly on that wall.
So yeah, and that was the end of Raw.
That was the end of Raw. And there's going to be no not sponsored segment today because
we're not sponsored, and why would we give ad time to people that don't pay us?
well, it's a good break in between the content for our viewers. So
Well, that's when you pimp our social media shit. You don't just give free advertising to people that aren't compensating us for it.
you let me worry about that.
Okay, fair enough.
Oh, did you? Never mind.
No, go ahead. What?
I don't want to get involved in that. Then. Apparently, there was some big like podcast drama.
Oh, Cast Media and
Yeah.
I listen to the Jim Cornette show, so I've only heard their side of it. Apparently, Brendan Schaub's dumbass is involved, and Sarah Silverman, which I'm not sorry to see her lose money.
I didn't even know she had a podcast.
Yeah, they all have podcasts.
And the
Any
stupid
schmuck can
with his
get a
mullet.
fucking microphone and stream onto YouTube or Cast
But
Media, whatever.
It just shows that there's it just opened my eyes that there's such a level to this whole thing that we call podcasts. Like they got networks. Oh yeah, sign with our network. Ink a deal with our network, and we'll pump out the contents. We'll get you advertisers. We'll put you on. We'll put you on. Like they got people producing. You know, podcast producer, which you can put on your resume because you are a podcast producer. Audio engineer. That's another one.
Graphic
Audio
designer.
engineer. Yeah.
Oh, I did some graphic designing. Well, what'd you do? Some YouTube thumbnails?
Yes. Like this is all stuff you can put on your resume. You can get in the big time. And there's other. It just showed that this is such a big thing, a big mountain that we're climbing here. But we're having fun doing it.
What that tells me is don't get involved with people to do your shit.
Cast Media, if you would like to sign us to the network, we would be more.
No. I don't want anything to do with Cast Media. Fuck you, Colin. Fuck you, Colin. Fuck you, Podcast One. I don't want anything to do with your fucking crooked ass.
Allegedly, they didn't get paid all their money, but they got paid some money. I'll take some money. you can pocket whatever.
That's true.
You want.
That's more than we're making. Yeah, give us some money. I'm sorry, Colin. I'm sorry, Colin.
Like yeah, you can 95. Well, just give us 5.
It is kind of interesting how deep that kind of went.
Yeah, it is. I was listening to it. I was like, wow, this is a big game here.
CoffeeZilla even said or featured it.
Well, that's where I heard it.
Oh, okay.
And then I was like, what? Jim Cornette?
Yeah, he was one of the first ones. And then Theo Vaughn. And then Brendan Schaub. And Silverman. I'm sure there was others, but they're the main names. Or biggest names.
But yeah, interesting little thing. Go watch CoffeeZilla video if you're into that kind of thing. Just use that source. But now we can move on to SmackDown.
By the way, Jim Cornette has 9 parts on the Colin Cast Media thing.
Oh wow,
Colin Thompson
really went into depth.
Oh yeah, they've been going hard on him. So yeah, SmackDown. And Pat McAfee opens the show, and so does my skip button. Theory came out at one point, and he was without Waller. He talks some shit. McAfee says this will never be Theory's show. It's the people's show. Then The Rock comes out. Rock and Theory talk some shit. Theory gets a people's elbow from The Rock, and then he gets a people's elbow from McAfee. So there's that. Go ahead.
There is that. Well, first of all, let's say congratulations, I guess, to Theory. You have been buried by The Rock. You've been buried by John Cena. You've been buried by Stone Cold Steve Austin and Brock Lesnar. You are on like the Mount Rushmore of being buried. So that's congratulations. If you're getting oh, and you can throw Rey Mysterio in there.
How do
Like
you get buried by Cena?
when he cooked him on the mic, told him no one cares about him.
I'm sorry, not Cena. Austin.
Oh, he got stunned by Austin last year.
Oh, did he?
Was it last year or two? No, it was 2 years ago
Oh, okay.
when
Okay.
him and McAfee had the match. So yeah, he's been buried by like the top names in the industry. So that is good for him.
I guess.
They're they're still trying to strap that rocket to old Theory and get him over for with the fans. This segment was probably his best segment of doing all that.
Really?
Yeah, because he referenced well, he did the "it doesn't matter what your name is" to The Rock, and it got the fans like, "Oh," because he timed
Okay.
it perfectly. And then, yeah, when The Rock's music, I was half paying attention because Pat McAfee was there. I'm half paying attention, and then I hear The Rock's "If You Smell," and then the building. I don't know. They may have caused an earthquake with how loud they were. Like that was the loudest pop that I've heard in forever. And I
Okay.
was like, and then at this moment, I was thinking about you when I heard that pop, and I was like, and he thinks Gunther can get that kind of a reaction.
Fuck
Like,
yeah, Gunther can get that. Fuck you. Yeah, he sure as shit can.
I, there's
You
nothing
kidding me?
Gunther can do to get that kind of a
You
reaction.
kidding me? Gunther can absolutely get that kind of reaction. All they need to do is keep you doing what Gunther's doing. I'm telling you. If they all they need to do is focus on the goddamn wrestling and the in-ring product, and less about the jaw jacking, because that's the only thing Rock is good at.
And look what it did. Look what the jaw jacking does.
What did it do? A 50-year-old man buried a 20-year-old superstar that was the former U.S. heavyweight champion. What am I supposed to look at?
Well, we'll see when the rating comes out. I bet you that rating's going to be massive.
People will watch animals taking shits. That doesn't mean anything to me.
To you, I'm just saying that's a judgment of what people care. A lot of people care about it. The roof being blown off the building.
And I
Can't even say it right.
don't understand why, because Rock is coming back. He's almost 60 now, so he's going to have one match and he's going to go away.
10 years already.
Fair enough. Okay. Okay. He's 50. Is he 50? Let me.
Yeah, I think he's either 50 or 51.
Okay, so he's 50. So he's going to come back. He's going to do one match and he's going to go away again. So what the fuck is there to be excited about?
The match?
Who cares?
Okay.
I mean, he came back against Cena. He came back against other people. He's come back before and he's gone away again. That's what he does.
Well, he's not like a full-time guy. He's not going to be there every week. Nor should he.
Either he's going to be a wrestler or he's not. To me, it seems like
one-offs.
What's that?
I said I think it's okay to bring him in for one-offs.
I guess it's not exciting to me. Maybe 20 years ago, like when they did the first, once in a lifetime thing with Cena and that build up, like at first I thought it was stupid that they were scheduling in the main event like a year in advance. But then as they progressed, that was really, I liked how they did that. But that, I mean, ever since they did the second match, and then he went away. He's come back. He's gone. It's just, I don't know. Just a one-off match with fucking Rock does not excite me.
Well, for the rest of us, this opens up the door. Now, we're talking about it now. So The
Okay.
Rock, he was on the Pat McAfee show that very morning because Pat McAfee, he was doing the show. He was live in Colorado for the Buffalo. What is there? Yeah, the Buffaloes, Colorado Buffalo college football game, which they did win, by the way. So there's that.
Did they win? God
And
damn it.
yes, so he comes to the Pat McAfee show. They're in Denver. SmackDown happens to be in Denver. So they were right down the street. And Pat McAfee started to ask him questions about WrestleMania. They talked about last year's WrestleMania. And The Rock said that the last WrestleMania 39, the match between him and Roman Reigns was locked in. It was locked in. And he said that the reason that the match didn't go through is because Nick Khan, Vince, they sat down, they're trying to ink out a plan that was going to not have WrestleMania be the end of something, but to be the start of something, whatever that even means. And they couldn't just figure out something that was going to take this to the next level.
He also said he could be in ring shape.
Well, he said he wanted to do something. He said that?
Yeah. He said the last time he was in the ring was with Cena 100 years ago, and he tore his abdomen. And this time he wanted to be more prepared. And the timeline that he was given was not long enough for him to get into ring shape.
He said that on the Pat McAfee show?
What I read, yeah.
That's interesting. Because when he talked about it...
Did you watch the Pat McAfee show?
Yeah.
So he didn't say that at all?
Maybe I missed that part.
Okay. Well, maybe I'm fucking... maybe my source made it up. I don't know.
Maybe I missed that part.
Okay.
Because I didn't listen to the entire thing because, I had stuff to do. So I was popping in and out. But I heard him say it wasn't about his schedule. It wasn't about money. It was about that he wanted to do something that the fans had never seen before. And they couldn't just quite get that point down. So they had to put the pens down and walk away. That's what he said. That's the part I heard. But he said it was locked in. And then after that, he said, hey, but there's a WrestleMania in Philadelphia coming up. They said this on national TV. Said that. Instantly turning Cody Rhodes into a meme. Because now it's like Cody's never going to get to finish that story. And then he shows up on SmackDown hours after he just said, hey, there's a WrestleMania in Philadelphia. So, yeah. That does shake things up a bit if they're going to go through with that.
I think the ship has sailed on the fucking Rock match. They already did the whole letting Rock take a main event talent spot in CM Punk. We don't need another CM Punk. I think they just need to ride with the Cody thing. Rock he can be a special guest referee somewhere.
I don't know. I think let me run this by you here. So I was thinking about this. First of all, we never mentioned it, but now the UFC, this little TKO thing, is full on.
Yep.
So TKO is now the owner of WWE. So this is their first WrestleMania coming up. So I think they can go Roman versus The Rock. Doesn't need to necessarily be for the title. So I don't know how you get the title off Roman, but you get Roman, Rock. You get Cena. You're gonna have Cena on a WrestleMania match against two. We can still iron that out. It could be Cody. It's Cody versus Cena. Rock versus Roman. That's on one
I don't
WrestleMania.
like it already.
CM Punk's coming back, allegedly. CM Punk's coming back. You got Cena in a marquee match. So now you got Cena, The Rock, and CM Punk all in marquee matches. Jade Cargill rumored to come in. That's another marquee match.
Okay.
Like this could be one of the bigger WrestleManias. Like we don't need Ricochet on a WrestleMania when you got
I
names
agree
like
with
this
that.
around.
Well, even without the names, I agree with Ricochet not being on WrestleMania.
Like Ricochet, you go sit home. Go lay down with Samantha Irvin. I'm sure that's a win for you, but we got bigger things coming in here.
I don't know. I think they need to fucking finish the Cody thing. That's what they've been fucking building towards this whole year since last WrestleMania. I think for them to just now The Rock wants to wrestle in WrestleMania, so to fuck everything else, fuck that shit.
Yep. Get him out.
And all this is Cena, Rock. All this is because the fucking Hollywood is striking and they don't have shit to do. That's all this is.
Probably, but
That's
you
why
got him.
Cena has so many dates. That's why The Rock is all of a sudden free. Come on,
Yeah, it's probably true, but you got him.
They ain't doing
What does it
Fast
matter?
11
What does it matter when you got him?
because one is ancient. The other one's fucking just about ancient.
You know, my ex used to tell me all the time, "Oh, you're only doing this because I asked you to do it, not because you want to do it." I was like, "What does it matter? I'm doing it." That's the same thing. What does it matter how they get there? They get there.
Because it's shoehorned into everything that they've been doing this far.
And then also,
They're shoehorning in the Rock of Roman Reigns match for what? For nothing.
well,
It should be
you
Cody
just
and
said it.
Roman.
You
That's the
just said it.
story.
You just said it.
What did I just say?
They're on strike. They're only back for a limited time. And since you have this window, why not run the biggest match you can with the tools that you have?
So you're
Cody
gonna
Rhodes is going to
disregard a
be
whole
here
fucking
next year.
year of building story for just this one money match? That's
Yes.
stupid. That's fucking retarded.
You think Cody Rhodes is not going to be around for WrestleMania 41? He can finish the story then.
Are the fans gonna give a shit?
Who cares about the fans? Just kidding. This is all about the fans, and I think the fans.
I don't think the fans will give a shit.
Let us
We're
know.
supposed to wait. We're supposed to
our
sit on
audience
another
here.
Cody WrestleMania. What is he gonna fucking wrestle Bronson Reed at
Who, Cody?
WrestleMania? And then
Just
we're
get
gonna
two
wait
names. Cena,
another
CM
week.
Punk, Cena, CM Punk, Randy Orton. You can give him any of those three.
You're assuming Randy Orton and CM Punk are going to be there
Well, CM Punk is teasing that he's going to be there
in 2 months.
Yeah.
I don't know. You have this whole year that you've been building for Cody. Rock, I don't have anything to do. I don't have enough fish to eat.
I need more Terramana. Project Rock ain't gonna fund itself.
So if they do that, they're basically CM Punking Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, it is funny that it's like exactly what what CM Punk was. Like Cody is now CM Punk.
Yeah,
but I mean,
because
you got this window, you got to do it.
Cody has been the number one babyface since he came back, essentially. And then they had the deal with Roman. And then this whole year has been him finish. They had the fucking documentary that came out. I got to finish my story. I got to win this title, this specific title. And for them to delay it yet another fucking WrestleMania, that's retarded.
That's more adversity for him.
No, that's not adversity. That's retarded.
I say that as a joke because
I know
everybody hates that word now. But And that's another thing. He needs to finish the story. Yes. Never once does that story include him taking it from Roman Reigns. The story is him getting the title. Doesn't matter who's the champion. Like I said last year, it's only just so happens that Roman's the champion. So you don't need Roman to be the champion for him to finish the story. Now, do I think that he should be he should be the next champion? Yes, I do. And I don't think it needs to be at WrestleMania. You can do it at Royal Rumble.
It's not
You
not
can
as
run
good.
it at Royal Rumble. You can
If you
have
do
The
it
Rock
any
toss Roman
other
to the title.
pay-per-view than WrestleMania, it means nothing. WrestleMania is the big dog. It needs to be at WrestleMania.
Randy Orton won his first at SummerSlam.
That's
Doesn't
Randy
matter.
Orton. This
You go on a
isn't.
run,
This
Jones
is the
Jr.
fucking
won his
story
first
where
one.
he's trying to win the title that his daddy fucking won, but he didn't win.
You
This
can
is
do that anywhere.
You could do that anywhere, but it's not as meaningful as it would be at WrestleMania. WrestleMania is the biggest fucking pay-per-view of the year.
So now we would be back at Roman has to headline both nights. He's got to.
Sure, Roman can headline both nights so he can get his fucking meaningless match with The Rock out of the way. And
if you do
for the record, Roman has beaten Undertaker. He's beaten Goldberg. He's beaten Mysterio. He's beaten Cena. How many fucking torches does this hand-picked piece of shit need?
Needs them all.
Fuck him. Fuck
doesn't necessarily mean he's going to beat The Rock.
And if he wrestles The Rock, I'm not watching it.
Cool, I'll watch it.
Cool.
It's going to be one of those moments. I'm going to love every bit of it.
You love
be rubbing my nipples when it's happening.
You love every bit of it, and then I'll watch the Gunther match over and over again.
There you go. You have your wrestling, I'll have my entertainment.
How is that entertaining?
What?
How is that entertaining? How is, again, you have Cody Rhodes, who we've been talking about, basically working his way up to another title match with Roman Reigns, and then just out of nowhere, literally out of nowhere, Rock comes back because he's got nothing to do, and now he's going to be shoehorned into this fucking title picture for no reason.
Well, that's just the business, kid.
He's not going to win anything. He's not going to earn anything. He's just being thrown into there. Just like fucking Nia Jax, that water buffalo.
That's just the business.
It makes no sense. It's stupid. And why the fuck do you have all these other people on this roster if you're not going to fucking use them? I'm sorry, a 50-year-old man versus a 30-year-old man is not exciting.
For you.
For anybody.
Okay.
Rock is going to be
the majority of people.
Rock is going to be a shell of his former self.
He dropped that people's elbow pretty good. He dropped that spine buster pretty good. He's not going to be kipping up or anything. But
McAfee threw the same fucking elbow. So what does that tell you?
The Rock is in shape because McAfee's in shape. He just wrestled last year.
No. It means a punter is on the same athletic level as The Rock. That's what that tells you. A punter.
It tells me that
a lowly
they're both in shape.
Piece of shit punter.
Two equal people in shape doing the same thing.
Yeah, whatever.
But let us know in the comments. Cody Rhodes or The Rock. We're going to be sending this out on all the medias, all the social medias. Cody Rhodes or The Rock. What?
I said send it out on the medias.
Oh, we're sending it. This is a good thing. This is a good weigh-in. Might be another 500,000 view TikTok.
All right.
Hopefully. Please. Please subscribe. We gotta get to we're stuck at 350 and then we go down to 349 and then we go down to 348 and we go back up to 350. What are you guys doing to us here? Please. All right. We can move on.
All right. Balor and Styles had a match. The ref kicks Priest and Mysterio out of ringside. Jimmy Uso comes in for the distraction. Balor gets a roll-up win.
Yep.
Then we get The Rock backstage. He talks some shit with McAfee that I skipped. Then Cena welcomes Rock home and they have a man hug, slapping backs and everything. And yeah, the Hollywood strike means that Cena and Rock don't have anything to do. Just whatever.
And we win for it.
If you say so. Jimmy Uso's backstage. Balor thanks Jimmy. Jimmy says that you helped last week, so now we're even. It's not about the Judgment Day. Balor says he saw Jay and he bets Jimmy misses him. Balor says he offered Jay a spot in the Judgment Day, and Jay didn't say no. Balor then says, what if both of the Usos were part of the Judgment Day? Then Jimmy says no. Balor says, cool thing about Judgment Day is there are no leaders, even though they all take orders from the whole. And that means there's no Roman. And Jimmy kind of looks interested. And then Balor leaves and Heyman comes out of nowhere to presumably ask what the fuck was that all about. After that, we get the LWO in ring. They said some shit, probably in Spanish too. Then Lashley and the Solo Cup Profits come out. I said, fuck this. Profits beat LWO. And that's the LWO that isn't Escobar and Ray. So there's that. And the Street Profits and Lashley, they beat up everybody after the match.
So maybe they've finally chosen a side if they're going heel or not.
They're definitely heels, but they're definitely still carrying Solo Cups around. So I don't have any interest.
Oh, and to fill in the gap here. So LWO, they're in the ring. Santos Escobar starts sucking Ray again. Oh, you're so inspirational to me, and I'm so happy that you're champion. And then he asks Ray for a United States Championship match because he respects him so much. And Ray's like, "You want to take my title?" And then he's like, "Of course you can have a match." So they set up a Santos and Ray match in the future, and then that's when Lashley and the Profits come out, and yeah, leads to the match. Joaquin Wilde and Raul Mendoza. Joaquin Wilde with his stupid Malachi from Children of the Corn hat. Like, get the stupid hat off. I'm tired of that hat. And I'll tell you another thing. I'm tired of the whole LWO thing. It's just not working for me. I don't like it.
Well, it doesn't help that they have one potential star, they have a veteran, and then they have two nobodies.
And it's boring television. You know, I've been quiet on that whole thing. I've been letting it slide. Oh, LWO's out. Yay. I've been trying to keep my mouth shut. That's it. I'm done. I don't like them. It's not working. They do the stupid LWO. The crowd doesn't even respond to it. Like, this thing is not working. Let's just get Santos and let's get Legado del Fantasma back together. Santos, turn on Ray, get him out. And Santos goes back to being a heel, not the, oh, I respect you so much, Ray. You're familia. Can I please have a title match? But only because you said yes, I'll get one. Like, where's the killer instinct in this guy? He has none right now. Zelina Vega is just there and whatever ears that she's trying to get over. I don't even know what she's doing. She's looking good doing it, though. I'll give her that. But I don't know what she's doing.
Well, first of all, it was Isaac wore the hat, not Malachi in Children of the Corn. Second of all,
come on, really?
I couldn't let that slide. I'm sorry.
Really?
It was Isaac. He wore the little Amish hat. Malachi had the overalls, and he was like 20.
Like I pull that out, and then you go
Yeah,
and correct
I
me.
know. I gotta. You threw the obscure reference out there, and I reinforced the obscure reference. Anyway, yeah, the LWO thing, it was dead in the water when they announced it first. I think the best part about LWO is the outfit Ray wore at Payback. That's about it. I don't know who the other two people are. I literally don't know who the other two people are. There's Escobar, who was awesome when he came out with that face mask thing, and he was all Aztec, but now he's just a bitch.
He's soft.
Yeah.
So his thing used to be he was gonna build the luchador in his
Right.
own image.
Which was
So
great.
far from that guy.
And didn't they carry him out in like a throne and shit?
I think they did for one NXT, yeah.
Oh, okay. So I mean, that was working. This LWO thing, I don't know. I didn't like the LWO when they were in the fucking WCW. Was it WCW? Can't even remember.
I think so. Yeah, it had to be because they had the NWO and then they had all those spinoffs.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't like it then. So, yeah. Oh yeah, because Conan, wasn't he?
Yeah,
The leader.
Conan with his little button.
Yeah.
I mean, I liked them back then. They had all that swag. Not, I respect you so much. Please.
Mikia Esuto.
Like, and then when Ray was like, "You want to take my title?" It looked like he was about to cry. Don't tell me no, please. Sucking his lip in. Like, come on, be a killer. Be who you used to be. I get it. They're trying to be a baby face team, but you can be a little bit more edgy than what you are.
I think so.
Yeah. But yeah, that was the segment there. And then Street Profits, they win off of their move. Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits attacked the whole LWO.
Mm-hmm.
That is, if you're keeping count, that is 2 versus 4. But the 3 versus, oh man, 3 versus 4. But the 3 won. So.
You know the fucked up thing is I was gonna let that slide. I can't let children. I can't let children of the corn slide, but that I was gonna let slide. I was gonna stay shit.
Well, but yeah, that's the end of that segment there.
All right, moving on. We have The Miz versus LA Knight. It's a good match. I noticed that The Miz did his corner clothesline thing, where he throws the guy in the turnbuckle and then he does that little leaping clothesline. But then he turned it into a STO. I'm sure he's done that before. I don't remember seeing it, at least recently. So great move.
Yeah, I think Miz goes a couple times.
Okay. Miz goes for his DDT, and then Knight hangs onto the rope. It didn't matter though because Miz still regained control. Knight launches Miz into the ropes and then hits his BFT for the win. He did a stun gun into the ropes and then he did the BFT. Post-match, Knight says that from the day he came to SmackDown, he told everybody he's coming for gold. Doesn't matter if it's Mysterio or Gunther. Gunther would not only pack LA Knight's lunch, he would fucking eat it right in front of him. Shut the fuck up, Knight. Rollins or even Roman. Knight says he's easily top 2 and he ain't number 2. Solo and Heyman are watching in the back. Solo says he's going to handle the LA Knight problem, which everything's a X problem.
Especially with the bloodline, the Sami Zayn problem, the Kevin Owens problem.
Right. I think
Anybody who
Judgment Day is starting to do that
crosses them.
too. We gotta handle the Sammy Owens and or Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens problem. Gotta handle the JD McNugget problem. Everything's a fucking the problem.
Yeah. See, but we're teasing LA Knight versus Roman. That's going to
At
probably
least
be
Solo.
Well, that's your build up towards the Roman match. I don't know if they run that at do they have enough time for Survivor Series? Maybe. That's 2 months.
Well, either way, Knight's gonna lose. So
Of course he's going to lose.
It doesn't really matter.
Of course he's going to lose. But, oh, yeah, they did. Yeah, I think they run it at SummerSlam. I'm sorry,
Okay.
at Survivor Series. Actually, I take that back. Maybe they have to push. We still don't know what they're going to do at Survivor Series. Are they doing War Games or not? That changes things, obviously.
I think they're still gonna do War Games.
I think they still lean towards War Games, but it's still too early to be talking about it, I guess. So they haven't. And then you have Royal Rumble.
Mm-hmm.
So they can run that at Royal Rumble because you're going to need a big match at Royal Rumble like they do. But
I read that Roman's not scheduled for Royal Rumble.
He's not advertised for Royal Rumble.
Yeah. Which means he's not scheduled. At least not yet.
Well, if he doesn't need to be there, he doesn't need to be there. But I'm pretty sure he'll be there, though. He ain't missing out on that payday.
He's on a contract. He gets paid either way.
Well,
that's why he gets fewer dates.
They get different stuff. I don't know. He's got to be there for certain days. I'm sure it's like Brock Lesnar. He shows up for all the big pay-per-views and then goes away for the little ones.
He wasn't at Superstar Spectacle.
Who, Brock?
Roman.
The house show?
Yeah. Oh, it was a spectacle. It wasn't just a house show. Come on now. I mean, Cena was on it.
Yeah, he was. Because Cena has nothing to do.
That's true.
Maybe they run Cena and Roman. Nope, don't need to see that again.
Yeah, he already passed the torch. So Roman has like fucking 4 torches. He's got to
get the Rock's torch too. We need them all.
Fucking stupid.
He's the torch collector.
So yeah, so Solo says he's going to handle the LA Knight problem. And then Heyman says only Roman can give that order. And they need to focus on Jimmy and the deals he's cutting with the Judgment Day and the fight he's picking with Cena. Solo says he already knows what he needs to do and he's going to finish it tonight. Heyman wants to know who gave the order and then calls Roman.
Call Roman Reigns.
We get proof of life from Pretty Deadly in the backstage. Pierce says that they'll be back in no time because the blonde is recovering nicely. The blonde then says he's a shell of a man, and the memory of Ridge Holland injuring his shoulder like he broke Big E's neck is stuck in his brain. I added that part. Pierce said he didn't understand any of what the blonde just said, but medical says the blonde's shoulder is healing nicely. Then Pierce asked, why is the blonde sitting in a wheelchair? Then the brunette says to the blonde, we need to perfect your training regimen. And I suspect that includes sodomy.
And, they're straight in real life.
That's fine. They're gay on TV, so.
Well, you finally said it. We hadn't been saying it, but there you go. You finally put it out there. Yep. I'm just saying, in real life they're actually straight men. So
okay. Well, on TV they're sucking. I was
like, well, they play it pretty good, so I can like them now. Not because I found out. Like,
there's some new details that I found out about them that makes me like them more. Next up, we get Bailey and Dakota Kai backstage. Bailey says that Io has to beat Asuka, and that she's planned out everything from their debut to when Io cashed in her briefcase. That means that Bailey has planned all of the losses that she took to Bianca Belair.
yep.
Bailey says Io has never faced Asuka and doesn't know why she impulsively challenged her. And in my head, I'm like, the bitch stole Io's title and danced with it. Like, what fucking champion wouldn't challenge her to a title match at that point? Kai says Bailey is the one that needs to show up for Asuka because they have a match tonight. Kai says Bailey has been so distracted by Shotzi that she wonders if Bailey is ready for Asuka. I guess that's it. So Bailey and Asuka have a match. Asuka should have kicked the shit out of Bailey, honestly, and just made an example out of her to send a message to Io. But they didn't. They had a competitive match. It was normal. It meant nothing other than Asuka is feuding with Bailey's teammate. That's really it. Asuka turned a stomp into an ankle lock that looked pretty cool. And Shotzi came out of nowhere from the crowd to scare Bailey. Asuka uses the distraction to get a cheap win because it's Asuka. So Asuka needed fucking Shotzi to help her beat Bailey. And she still thinks she can be champion.
I don't think she needed Shotzi. I don't think they had this big grand plan for Shotzi to show up.
I don't know. They fist bumped after the match, so it could have been a plan.
Well, you see, Asuka was very delayed on that. And I thought she was heel. Is she not heel or is she a face? Asuka.
I don't know. Doesn't matter.
Like, no, but you know, who are we cheering for in 2 weeks when they face each other? Aren't we supposed to be? Oh, I guess she's face now, so we're cheering for Asuka. But that's the question: who are we cheering? But we will be seeing the match in 2 weeks. I think you may be muted, so I'm going to keep going. So we're going to be seeing this match in 2 weeks: Asuka versus Io.
I've been saying all this shit. God damn.
Yeah.
Oh God. Where did I? Yeah. So yeah, Bailey, Asuka, they're done. Asuka and Io are facing each other next week.
And everybody rejoices for this match.
Yeah. I just don't understand why Bailey just didn't get the shit kicked out of her.
Oh, it is Bailey.
And Shotzi went away for like a couple weeks and now she's back. What the fuck?
I know we got the payoff unadvertised, unhyped up. We just get the payoff on a random SmackDown. But it wasn't a payoff because she's still chasing around Bailey.
Yeah,
Didn't she win? She won.
They won, yeah.
So why are we still chasing around Bailey? Like it's over. You won. You got your thing.
Because Shotzi needs to do stuff. And she looks stupid doing it because I don't buy that she's all of a sudden I don't buy that she's deranged. I don't buy that she has lost her mind. She's still the same talentless bitch that she always was.
With the short hair.
Yes. And that was our main event. But to close out this SmackDown, we get the Waller effect. And our guest tonight is John Cena. Waller tells Cena it must be an honor to be on the Waller effect, but when he talks to grown-ups, he takes his hat off like his mom told him, which now makes sense.
Yep, that was a callback to what the Colorado State coach said to about Dion.
Yep. Waller says Cena needs advice because he keeps stealing the spotlight. Cena needs to be more like Waller. He needs to sit back and let the stars shine. Cena goes to speak, but Waller interrupts. But you couldn't help yourself. You had to make it all about you. You made yourself a special guest referee, and then you came out and lied to these people. I know you don't want to be an in-ring competitor anymore. There's no doubt that you're the greatest of all time. But there's also no doubt that you're not even close to being the greatest of all time. You haven't even been the same since my boy Theory, who just whipped The Rock, by the way, beat you. Cena then starts to take off his hat and his shirt, and he's ready for a fight. Waller says, "This is a talk show. It's your turn to speak now." And then Jimmy's music interrupts Cena. Cena laughs at Jimmy and starts to say something, but then Jimmy snatches the mic from Cena's hand, which wipes that smile off his face real quick. Jimmy says Kangaroo Jack has a point. Kangaroo Jack would be Waller. No one wants you here, John. They came to see me, Jim Uso. It's a good line. Jimmy says, I came out here to say it to your face that you wanted to embarrass me 2 weeks ago. Let's do it now. Hold on. Jimmy says, I came out here to say it to your face. You wanted to embarrass me 2 weeks ago? Let's do it, John, or get the hell out of my ring. Then Solo's music hits, and he comes out with Heyman. Solo gets in the ring. He has a stare down with Cena. Jimmy's behind Solo, jumping around, talking all sorts of shit to Cena. Like, what now, bitch? Solo teases he turns around and he teases a spike on Jimmy, but then he super kicks Cena. Then Jimmy tries to slap hands with Solo, but Solo ain't having it. Then Solo and Jimmy beat down Cena. Styles comes out for the save. Cena and Styles, they clean house, and then they fist bump. And then Solo saves Jimmy from an FU on Heyman's orders. And that was SmackDown.
That was SmackDown, and I don't get where they're going with this whole thing. Obviously, they're building to some variation of. I mean, it's looking like Cena, because I said, was it last week? I said it looks like they're going LA Knight and Cena versus Grayson Waller and and Austin Theory. But now after this week, it looks like they're going Jimmy and Solo versus Cena and AJ Styles.
Yeah.
So it doesn't make sense where they're going here.
That's been the theme this whole week. It just does not make sense. Everything was been phoned in.
I wouldn't say it was phoned in. I just think they're reshuffling because the merger has happened and Vince is no longer in charge.
So the merger has happened. So your best female wrestler needs to wrestle a dangerous, non-talented performer in Nia Jax.
Well, the story says
there is no story. She just came out of nowhere.
I'm telling you what the story. I missaid it when I said story. The news, Fightful, says that Nia Jax was signed before, and this had nothing to do with the merger. This was just them bringing her out now, because everybody was like, "Oh, it's the merger." They wanted to make a splash, but nope. They said she's actually been signed for months now, and they just decided now to bring her back.
I didn't say anything about the merger.
That's the whole thing we were talking about.
I get that, but Nia Jax is coming back for no reason. and she's being utilized poorly. She has no business being. What if she hurts Ripley?
I said that she better not be hurting Rhea Ripley. There's too much
I mean,
forward for her.
she hurt Bailey twice. She hurt Kairi Sane. She got into it with Charlotte.
That was a good match, though. By the way,
It was a good match, but
they just literally fought, and Charlotte didn't want none of that smoke, and it showed. she was she ate Charlotte up.
yeah, of course she did. She's a big Samoan girl.
Like, I actually felt bad for Charlotte in that moment.
I didn't.
I did. It's like, come on, you're gonna get crushed.
From what it looked like Charlotte started it, and Nia finished it.
Maybe she did, but
and that was WWE. Now, last week we said that we were going to rewatch the old WCW pay-per-views, starting with when Nitro started. Wasn't that our criteria?
yes.
So Nitro started, and it was kind of in the middle of a pay-per-view schedule. So we get Fall Brawl, War Games, 1995.
And this is deemed the first Nitro era pay-per-view.
Even though, I mean, it is, but I don't think it. I consider the Halloween Havoc after this the first Nitro era, because it seemed like they had this scheduled well in advance before the Nitro.
Yeah, but Heenan did say tune in tomorrow on Nitro. So
yeah,
I don't know.
So overall, what did you think of the pay-per-view?
I don't know.
Okay.
I have to hold. Like, this was my first one, so I don't know if it was a good or bad pay-per-view.
Okay.
There was parts that I enjoyed. There was parts that was like, what are we doing here?
Okay.
Like the main event. It's like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
By the end of the main event, I was like, okay, now there's a cliffhanger. Now I want to watch the next pay-per-view.
Okay.
So I don't know.
All right.
There was
Well,
ups and downs.
let's talk about Flying Brian Pillman versus Johnny B. Bad, aka Mark Merrill, aka Sable's ex-wife, aka the guy that babysits Brock Lesnar's kids while he takes Sable out on vacation and porks her.
And loves every minute.
Loves every minute of it. And Johnny B. Bad, so the story is that Johnny B. Bad and Flying Brian Pillman, they're tag team partners. And they're put in a match, and the winner gets to face Sting for the U.S. title. And this is what I liked about this. I like this match a lot. I thought this match was probably better than anything I've seen this week that wasn't Gunther related. It seemed like an athletic contest as opposed to just them doing a bunch of fucking shit and then pinning him at the end. And right off the bat, you got...
Yeah, there's a lot of story.
Yeah, there's story. But it wasn't like...
I'm pretty sure Pillman turned heel by the end of that match. That's what I took away from it. You know, he started out because it was a face, and then they were like, oh, I can't believe that Johnny B. Bad is the fan favorite.
Mm-hmm.
And then now Pillman's is taking cheap shots throughout the match, and then they're booing him even more, and now he's like turned heel. I don't know.
I just appreciated because they used to do this whenever tag team partners would face each other one-on-one. They would do this thing where they know each other's moves so well. So then they would get into a chain of moves, and then like they'd either do like a double drop kick or like a double clothesline or just something that would indicate that, like, yeah, they both do the same shit.
Yeah, I did like those things where they were, oh, they know each other so well, but then they changed what they did. Flair did it also during the Arn Anderson match.
Yeah, we'll get to that. That was a good one. What'd you think of Johnny B. Bad's little confetti cannon?
Uh, I didn't pay that close attention to.
Okay. Um. So the only kink for me with this match was that they both were hitting power moves, and then when the guys like 2 minutes left, then they started doing like submission holds. So it was like obvious that they were stretching for time. I don't know why you're gonna power bomb somebody and then move into a headlock.
Well, they looked like they were gassed.
Well, that too. I mean, I'm sure they were.
Yeah,
And that's another thing. This match was ugly. And it was ugly in the sense that it looked like a fucking it looked like they were really one of them was really trying to beat the other.
yeah, and it was. Yeah, it was a good match. Let's just say that it was a good match. I didn't expect. I thought it went maybe a little long
It was long.
because I was like, golly, how long is this match?
Well, they kept doing a whole bunch of shit. And then they did the draw tease, but then Nick Patrick said, "Oh, no, it's going into sudden death."
Yeah,
And then so after hitting each other with not only their finishes but countless power moves, they both hit a double cross body that Johnny B. Bad powers through to get the pin and the win.
yep. And he owns the date with Sting,
And a
who
date with
is
Sting.
the champion, uh, television champion, I believe.
He was a U.S. title
No, he
holder.
was the U.S. champion.
Television champion was Renegade.
Yes. So he owns the match. We probably won't see that because it'll be on TV, and we only are doing the pay per views, but that's
Yep.
okay.
Well,
Uh,
maybe when we get done with the pay-per-views, we'll go through the nitros. We'll see what happens.
wow, that's a lot. I did like, though, by the way, Michael Buffer. He This is what I was talking about. Like Michael Buffer, he comes out, he does the entrance,
Mm-hmm.
and he's like, he just did it for the first match and the last match, but he's like, this man, he's no stranger to the title. He is multiple time champion and this, that, and the other. Like he puts both of them over, so they both
Yep.
felt like a big deal.
Bruce Buffer, Bobby the Brain Heenan, Tony Schiavone, Mean Gene Okerlund, all that shit, man. That was WCW to me. Yeah, I know Mean Gene was in WWF, but he was also in WCW, and he did a fantastic job.
He did.
But I think this match, and you'll probably see a trend, at least pre Vince Russo years, where you'll see a lot of great matches, but then the finish just sucks. I think this was one of them. Textbook WCW.
Yeah, they didn't know how to finish it.
Nope. But yeah, that was our first match. And then we get it's so weird to say, we get a Ric Flair backstage segment.
Say that in 2023.
And it's weird seeing Flair without him looking like his face is melting and his hair is falling out, and like he has bleach blonde hair as opposed to that yellow shit, that yellow stringy shit he has now.
Yeah.
Mean Gene says Flair and Anderson started in Charlotte, and it's only fitting that they come together and fight in Charlotte. Flair says that they shared a bond, best friends through it all. They'd each give each other the shirts off their backs. But tonight, we're not walking outside side by side. We're walking out on opposite ends of the building. So many people in life have the opportunity to stand next to greatness, to be around greatness, much less touch greatness. And tonight, my friend, you're going to face greatness. Mean Gene asks Flair if he's come to hate Arn Anderson. Flair says that he loves him so much, but we're going to have to explain to our boys that there's only one king of the hill. And yeah. Flair and Arn
Building up
Anderson.
towards the match, yeah.
So next we get Cobra versus Sergeant Craig Pitbull Pittman.
Oh my god, this match. This damn match.
You know what? If I may, I was thoroughly sports entertained here.
I was too. I was laughing at the whole thing.
So Cobra comes out. He has Morse code for a theme, which I thought was funny and great at the same time. He looked anything less than a army guy. Speaking of army guy, and a random army guy just comes out and starts jacking with Cobra. And then Pittman repels from the ceiling like Shawn Michaels. And then Pittman crawls into the... So they have two rings. It's War Games. So you got the two rings side by side. Pittman crawls into the second ring. And then he army crawls into the ring that Cobra is jaw-jacking with the army guy. And then...
And Heenan the whole time is yelling, "We're at war!"
Pittman then garrotes Cobra with his machine gun belt. So he's got the bullet sash thing. He takes it off and then he strangles Cobra with it. And then Pittman proceeds to beat Cobra's ass pretty much throughout the match. They get outside the ring, beats his ass there. And Cobra throws Pittman in the ring post. Then Cobra tries a top rope move, but Pittman sidesteps it. And Pittman ultimately gets an armbar for the win. And then Pittman, at the end of the match, snarls, "That's a good day for the core."
Yeah, he was so over the top.
It was great. I loved it.
I was like, "See, this is what you need to be doing." But
Yeah,
I went into this match like, what? I went into this match. Cobra's coming out. I'm like, why is this on TV? Or why is this on a pay-per-view? I don't even know who he's facing. And then I see the name, Sergeant Pitbull Pittman. It's like, what is this? This is gonna waste my time. But no, they did the whole him repelling from the ceiling and army crawling into the ring.
Army crawl, yeah. The army crawl is what did it. That was the best part.
Yeah, I like that part. And then the part where he's like standing behind him and he's like, "I got him." That was sports entertainment.
Yes, it was. Speaking of sports entertainment, we get Paul Orndorff backstage, Mr. Wonderful. And apparently he recently lost to Randy Savage. And we see Orndorff in the dressing room. He's second guessing himself. He's just dealing with the loss really hard. He's throwing shit. I'm not wonderful anymore. I can't call myself Mr. Wonderful. What's wrong with me? Then out of nowhere, Gary Spivey comes out. Now, for those of you who don't know, Gary Spivey is a self-proclaimed spiritual healer and psychic. He has made appearances on radio programs, TV shows, and live casino shows. And he's also conducted personal readings, seminars, workshops, and retreats. So basically, he's just a scam artist. But WCW...
I thought he was a genie.
No, he's a fake psychic. He's like Miss Cleo. And he's from Charlotte, North Carolina, so that kind of tells you his authenticity.
There you go.
So then Gary says he sees great things for Mr. Wonderful. Orndorff then starts to get his confidence back. Then he starts kissing his muscles. Then he kisses himself in the mirror.
And boy, did he.
Yeah. I'm Mr. Wonderful. I'm Mr. Wonderful.
Yeah, we were about to have to turn the camera
off. I need a minute alone.
About to make love to myself.
And he probably did. But yeah, it was great. I like Mr. Wonderful. I don't know about Gary Spivey, but apparently Gary was his mentor for a while, so we might have more Gary on the way.
He's giving him his mojo back, apparently.
Yeah. So our next match is Diamond Dallas Page with the Diamond Doll and Max Muscle versus the Renegade versus Jimmy Hart. Or I'm sorry, with Jimmy Hart for the WCW World Television Championship. And right off the bat, it is weird seeing Diamond Dallas Page in the fucking wrestling tights with the pink. He doesn't have jeans on. He doesn't have the rib tape. His hair is all fucked up. It's early DDP.
Very early.
And the Renegade comes out. DDP headbutts the Renegade, then falls out of the ring, and then walks into the ring post. So we're pretty far away from the self high five DDP. DDP is a great heel. He's naturally unlikable. He does a lot of dickheadish shit. And yeah, he's great. DDP at one point countered an arm drag into a DDT, which I thought was a great spot. Renegade then gets Page in the middle of the ring. He goes for a top rope move. And instead of jumping on Page, he jumps on Max Muscle, who's outside of the ring just yelling at Jimmy Hart. He's not attacking him. He's not doing anything. They're just arguing.
Who in turn no sells it.
Who in turn no sold it, yes. Muscle then grabs Renegade's leg as he's getting back into the ring, and then DDP hits his diamond cutter for the win.
So yeah, remember that he just jumped on him from outside the ring,
Yep.
And as he's getting back in the ring, the guy who he just jumped on is now grabbing his leg.
Yep. Yes.
Completely no sell.
And the Diamond Doll is not happy that Diamond Dallas Page won.
Yeah, but we get Heenan happy. Oh, there's gonna be a celebration.
Yeah. I like Heenan, man. He talks about, oh, if I was in there, I'd be twisting fingers and breaking arms. I don't know why he's going out in the outside of the ring. You can't win on the outside of the ring. You're just an idiot. It's great shit.
Yeah, he's great.
Tony Schiavone isn't great, but I liked. I don't know. I like him. At least WCW Tony Schiavone. AEW Tony Schiavone is clearly phoning it in.
Probably.
He doesn't care.
What are you talking about AEW for?
Well, I'm just saying. It's Tony Schiavone.
I'm saying
he's still around.
I know, but this is retro.
Okay.
This is a separate universe right now. We're not talking about modern. Oh, and by the way, I did write too. This Renegade. How is that not a direct competitor to the Ultimate Warrior? Like, it seems like they just
with the music and how he came out.
Yeah, his running out.
He even has tassels on his uniform. I mean, it's not on his arms, but he has fucking tassels.
Yeah,
he's got the face paint.
Rip-off.
I think didn't the Renegade come back at some point and was basically a Warrior ripoff.
Yeah,
because the Warrior was there, and then I don't know. That's just whatever.
I don't know. He's weird.
We'll find out.
All that was missing was for him to do the Warrior up thing.
Right.
Which I'm sure maybe we'll get around to that.
Next up, we have Harlem Heat with Sensational Sherry and versus Bunkhouse Buck and Dick Slater with Colonel Robert Parker for the WCW World Tag.
Oh, go ahead.
Team Championship.
It was Dirty Dick Slater.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Dirty Dick Slater.
Dirty Dick Slater.
I was like, what the hell kind of name? Dirty Dick.
Yeah.
And these two guys look. I didn't remember them at all. I remember Colonel Sanders, but I didn't remember these two guys at all.
Dick Slater is Bunkhouse Buck. You might remember. He played Jack Swagger's dad Raw. So Kane, I believe he chokeslammed him a couple times.
Okay.
So that's Bunkhouse Buck. That's probably what the modern fans would remember him from. Dick Slater, I think he's old. He was an old school guy. I believe he was with Bill Watts's territory, Mid-South. But he has a reputation for being a dickhead and no pun intended, and also being a legit tough guy.
Okay.
So
one of those cowboy gimmicks. Got the tobacco in his mouth.
yeah, he's definitely a shit kicker. Which is funny because they got the street guys versus the cowboys.
Yeah.
Right off the bat, I forgot just how awesome Harlem Heat is.
When I heard the music, it brought me
the
joy.
Dun dun dun. Everything about them, man. The fucking the tights with the flames, the music, the attitude. They're not.
They don't have solo cups.
They don't have fucking solo cups. Yeah, the fucking Street Profits need to fucking take some lessons. Stevie Ray was a badass. Booker T was a badass. Booker T was athletic as all shit.
Yeah. Sherry added to their presentation. She was underrated with how good she was. You know, Shawn Michaels and Harlem Heat.
She was great though. She was like literally cheering on Harlem Heat and giving him pointers. Like she was trying to help them win a match that was predetermined, but it was so fucking believable that she was great. Then Colonel Robert Parker tried to fuck Sherry in the middle of the match for some reason. Slater and Buck isolate Booker from the corner for most of the match. And then Sherry and Parker start making out in the middle of the second ring. And the Nasty Boys come out and cost Slater and Buck the titles.
Good old Nasty Boys. Can't wait to see a match with them.
We were so focused on the Colonel and Sherry necking that they didn't even pay attention to the Nasty Boys coming in.
Yeah.
So post-match, Bunkhouse Buck chastises Parker for chasing pussy instead of being in their corner. Parker says he really wants to fuck Sherry. he runs and he wants to fuck Sherry and he runs their outfit. So he'll get them another title match eventually. Mean Gene tells Parker to get a hold of himself. He's got lipstick all over his face. He's wiping sweat off. And then Parker says his dick has never been so hard in his life. And that's about it. Harlem Heat's awesome.
Harlem Heat's awesome. I enjoyed Colonel Sanders.
Yeah, I did too.
He's like, don't get me wrong, I'm one of the best promoters, but I say
I'm one of the best promoters there's ever been.
Yeah. He's like, but I got to have that girl. You can't see it in my eye.
We're gonna chew some wheat and then we're gonna think about the next match. So next up, we have Arn Anderson backstage. Again, was so weird to say. Mean Gene plays a video of Flair and Arn Anderson's history. And they mentioned that Flair hasn't been the same since Hogan came to WCW. They had to throw that in there. And
is that a tease for a potential match?
I don't know.
I guess we'll find out.
So what I gathered is Arn was basically tired of being the muscle for Flair, and Flair didn't really appreciate Arn. Then Arn says, whether or not you love or hate me, my passion is undeniable. Everyone has had a family member that keeps messing up, and you just have to grab them by the shoulder and shake them. My stomach's been knots all day because I have to trade fists with somebody I love more than God itself. But it's something I got to do because when I look in the mirror, I only have me to answer to. So I give you my word. Win, lose, or draw, I'm going to give you all I've got as a man. And you'll respect me after. Arn Anderson's great.
He is great, but I was thinking, I don't ever remember him getting a solo run. Did he ever get like an actual solo run?
If he did, it
I
was
always
before our
remember
time.
him. Yeah. Oh, I'm saying like in this era. I
I
always
don't
remember
know.
him like tethered to Ric Flair.
I I remember Arn Anderson basically being Ric Flair's manager, for lack of a better word, and then
The
he
enforcer.
retired. Yeah, enforcer, and then he retired because he couldn't cinch in the DDT anymore.
Okay.
I could be wrong though. I know he didn't have a that substantial of a singles run, at least in the Nitro era.
Yeah. I mean, I do remember him being a singles champion, like way early WCW, because I always, when I was a little kid, he was always one of my favorites.
Yeah,
So I remember that, but I don't remember if he ever got one in post that.
yeah. Arn Anderson is just on another level. There's a match I saw of his where he was doing a whole bunch of shit with whoever he was wrestling with, and then just all of a sudden he puts his hand up to stop the guy, and he looks at the referee and he points to the back of his head to signal that the guy pulled his hair that's not there. But but the hand, just that hand up was just great.
Yeah.
I'll see if I can find it and send it to you. So that moves us into Arn Anderson versus Ric Flair. And I got to say that the Horseman theme gave me goosebumps.
It is a good theme.
Down, down. Don't need Agent Orange for that shit. And Ric Flair, up to this point, has been the only wrestler to get pyro in his entrance. It's almost like he's a big deal and not just part of a troupe.
Yeah.
Then they show various wrestlers sitting in the stands, anxious to watch the match, which was another great touch. So you had Boss Man, Pillman, Bagwell, Robert Parker. I can't remember the
Eddie
giant.
Guerrero.
Eddie Guerrero. They were all sitting in the stands, just like students, watching these two legends go at it. And I thought that added so much to this match.
Yeah, they built this match like it was a big deal.
I mean, technically, this was the main
Everybody
event.
everybody out there, yeah, everybody out there watching, they're doing the promos. They keep like playing the packages before like the opening promo, or I'm sorry, the opening video package was about which was voiced by what's his name? Jesse Ventura, by the way. No,
Was that
Ric
Jesse?
Flair was. Ric Flair part was.
Okay.
But yeah, they're just showing like the history of these two guys. So they really did a good job building to what this match was like such a big deal of.
Yeah.
And remember, this is our rewatch, so or this is my first watch, so I didn't follow any of this story. So me not having the knowledge, it really filled the gap in for me. So there you go.
Well, you got an idea of the Horsemen, though. You know that they were a faction, so it would be like, I don't know, Jimmy and Jay Uso wrestling.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I had the back knowledge, but I'm just saying this is they did a good job at filling in the gaps.
Yeah, they sure did.
Like what? How did we get here?
So Arn starts off pretty hot. Like they just wrestled the shit out of the beginning of this match. Arn at one point does a drop toe hold to Flair and woos, which I thought was great. One, he did a drop toe hold, and then two, the woo. And if you know anything about Arn Anderson, he has about as much personality as a fucking piece of bread. So him wooing is just great. Anderson, he works an arm, and Ric Flair sold it like he was getting repeatedly attacked in the arm throughout the match, which was nice to see. And then Flair finally hits a chop, and oh my God, is it a big deal instead of just being a move. And it's also great seeing a chop without woo. In fact, there was no "this is awesome" chance, "you deserve it" chance, or any other fucking chance. It's almost as if the crowd was a crowd and not a disruptive part of the show. And it was great.
Yep, they're just enjoying it.
Yeah. Anderson, I'll not get tired of saying this. He was great. Every move that Ric Flair did to him, you could feel the pain that Arn Anderson was going through, and he just showed it on his face and his body language. Fantastic. At one point, Randy Anderson, the referee, he blocks an Arn Anderson punch, and then Flair hits Anderson in the dick. And then the ref actually started a 10 count when both men were down and not moving, which I can't remember the last time I saw that. In fact, the first match, Nick Patrick stopped Brian Pillman from using fists. You can't use a closed fist in wrestling.
Yep.
But now that's all they fucking do because they're not creative.
Well, I don't know. Flair was using closed fists.
Eventually.
But he's the dirtiest player in the game.
Yeah, Flair's also a heel. Anderson goes for his DDT, but then Flair holds onto the ropes, which is I saw a SmackDown after watching this, so it was a nice little callback when LA Knight did that. Ric Flair goes for a figure four, and they do a nice spot where Anderson holds Ric Flair's leg just before he ultimately locks it in. That little moment of tension was great. Ric Flair then spits on Anderson while he's in the figure four, and it just pisses him off. And then he reverses the hold. Flair hits a chop on Arn's injured leg, like a football chop. And then he attempts another figure four, and then Arn counters into a small package. And then eventually, for no reason at all, Brian Pillman comes up and distracts Flair. Pillman then punches Flair, who Flair punches Pillman back, but then Pillman regains his composure and kicks Flair in the back of the head, which causes enough of a distraction or a hiccup for Anderson to hit his DDT for the win. And then Arn Anderson has the referee help him walk out of the ring because he was in the figure four and his legs fucking hurt.
Yeah.
How classic is that?
And is this the start of Flying Brian going into the Horsemen? Or are the Horsemen even a thing right now?
The Horsemen are a thing. It's just Flair and Anderson. I don't think Pillman lasted long enough to be a Horseman.
Yeah, he was. I think he was in the Horsemen for.
Was he?
A little bit.
Okay.
It wasn't long, but yeah, I think he was in there for a little bit.
Okay. I don't remember him in the.
So we're leading to a Flair Pillman match?
You would think so.
Well, we'll see what's going to happen.
Or maybe Arn takes Pillman under his wing or something.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Yeah. But yeah, that was great. And then we have our main event. War Games match. Dungeon of Doom. Which is John Tenta, the Zodiac, and others. I can't remember the other two.
I got you. So we have. I wrote them all down because they were
Okay, good.
ridiculous. So we got Zodiac. We got Earthquake, who they called Shark. We
Yeah,
got
John
Kamala.
Tenta.
We got
Oh, okay, Kamala. Yeah.
Ming.
Oh, Ming was in it.
Yeah,
Okay, shit.
all led by the Taskmaster. And the one that was missing was the Giant, which is Paul White. And this is
Okay.
all the Dungeon of Doom.
So Kevin Sullivan had a really bizarre video package before the match. He says a whole bunch of weird shit, and he's laughing in a very phony manner. And we learned that this whole thing started because the Big Show drove a monster truck over the motorcycle the Hulkamaniacs gave Hogan.
Yeah.
So I did notice in this match, it was a multi-person match. So if you've seen one, you've pretty much seen them all.
It's chaotic.
Yeah. But what I will say is
Go ahead.
they don't do the things that the modern people do now. So like when they were all wrestling, it wasn't just two people doing their shit while everybody else was just lying somewhere pretending to be hurt.
Resting, sleeping.
Yeah. So that was great. I mean, it was chaos, which I would assume 4 or 8 people fighting in a cage would be chaos. But it was also really hard to watch, especially when they had the camera outside of the cage and all you can see is the cage and barely the wrestlers.
Yeah, and the cage was like just large enough to barely, like Hogan's head was like maybe a couple inches from the top of the cage.
Yeah. That too. It was a short ass cage.
Yeah.
So Hogan wins the match. He gets a camel clutch on Zodiac. Now, the Zodiac's gimmick is he says yes, no. So yes, no, yes, no. Don't know why, but that's what he does. So he gets Hogan gets him in the camel clutch. So he does the yes, no thing. So then the referee has to do this fucking delay thing to try to figure out if he's saying yes or no. So the ref determines that he did in fact say yes. So Hogan won. After the match, Hogan gets Sullivan alone in the cage, and he beats the living piss out of Sullivan. And eventually the Big Show comes out to take out Hogan. And Big Show, he's jumping over the ropes and shit, like Eddie Guerrero.
Yeah. Did you see what he did when he got into the cage? He like did the pull up and put it.
Yeah.
So you have the ropes, and he pulls his feet up to his knees and then goes over the front.
Just so unnecessary.
Like, what the hell? Paul White ain't doing that now. And then
Hogan,
he jumps over the ropes.
Yeah, he jumps over the ropes
to get to the other. Yeah,
there's a match with him and Benoit on Nitro where Giant just starts off with a drop kick, and that's it. That's pretty much the end of the match. So yeah, he was pretty fucking athletic.
Yeah, and it's good to revisit like how big of a deal he was.
Yeah, he's been a big deal. He was a big deal when he started, and then he went to WWE, and he was a big deal for like a week. It felt like.
Yeah, but like the way they shot him from the ground, they did the Omos angle.
Yeah, yep.
And then he's walking out, Giant. They kept saying he's 7'4", which is a lie. Clearly. I'm not saying he ain't big. I'm just saying, or maybe he is 7'4". But yeah, he's doing that, pulling up into the ring like that. I was like, what? To be 7'4" and that athletic,
yeah, it's pretty crazy.
That was something special.
He's built at 7'2".
Okay. So yeah, they kept saying he's 7'4". That's what Heenan kept saying.
So the Big Show finally gets to Hogan, and Hogan tries to fire up on him, but he ultimately fails. and, and, and then the Big Show grabs Hulk Hogan's head, and then Hulk Hogan crumbles to his knees, and then the Big Show snaps Hogan's neck.
And Heenan said he twisted his head like cheap wine.
Finally, Hogan's team comes out to help Sullivan and Big Show leave, and then the show ends with Bruce Buffer asking for paramedics to come to ringside,
and Heenan laughing hysterically, saying, "Finally!"
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Tony Schiavone's like, "Oh, we hate to leave you like this, but we'll keep you updated." And Heenan is just laughing his ass off.
So yeah. So what'd you think of the overall pay-per-view? This was your first WCW pay-per-view, right?
Yes, first WCW pay-per-view. It's a little bit all over the place.
Yep.
If I can give it a rating, I don't know what we're gonna say. We'll give. I don't know. We'll give it 2.5 of whatever rating system
Okay.
it is. But that's because I don't have anything to compare it to yet.
Well, this to me was a typical WCW pay-per-view. I do have a couple of them under my belt, a fair amount under my belt, actually. You'll notice that there'll be a trend where the wrestling matches are great, but the finishes suck ass. Like Johnny B. Bad, just rolling over a double crossbody. You got, well, let's take out the Pittman match. You got Max Muscle not selling the Ultimate Warrior's axe handle and then costing him the win. You got Sherry and Colonel Parker making out, making Dirty Dick Slater and Bunkhouse Buck all confused. And they don't see the Nasty Boys coming in, which we didn't see either. So it doesn't really matter. And you had Flying Brian Pillman out of nowhere interfere in the probably the match of the night.
Yeah, causing big things for him, I guess.
And then Hulk Hogan's neck gets snapped.
Yes, it clearly seems that we are headed towards a Giants versus Hogan match, probably at the next pay-per-view, Halloween Havoc.
And and that's a good finish as well.
There you go. So, if you want to follow along with the retro reviews, Halloween Havoc 1995 is next, and we will talk about that next week.
And that's This Week in Wrestling.
It is. And of course, if you disagree with anything, let us know in the comments. If you agree with anything, let us know in the comments. Don't forget to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. And until next time, is there anything else?
Have a good night.
And Top Guys out.